If you've seen some of our other videos, you know that we own a Kubota tractor. We've hit the 50-hour mark, well, just under 50 hours, so it's due for its service, which is engine oil and filter, and there's 2 other filters you need to change, the hydrostatic and the hydraulic oil. So I'm gonna do a little video on how you do the 50-hour service, show some of the grease points, and just some of the things to check. I'm gonna open up the hood. The oil filter's in here. This guy right here. So this just lifts out like that. Okay, to give a little more access to this. The first thing I'm gonna do is the engine and oil filter. That's the easiest. So we have our 2 drain holes here that we need to loosen up to get the engine oil out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my oil pan, loosen these up. It's 9/16. There we go, that one's loose. So there is a washer on here. Sometimes it's like some of the videos I've seen people doing it, it's stuck with the paint. Mine isn't, so make sure not to lose it. It's like a copper washer. There we go. It's gurgling a bit, so I'm gonna open the oil fill on the top of the engine, and you'll see it'll stop kind of chugging like that. Ready? Watch this. See that? Yeah, we'll just let that drain for a bit. I went to the Kubota dealer where I bought the tractor, and they sold me the 50-hour kit. So you got your UDT oil, which is for your hydraulic, and then your engine oil. If you look on your tractor, there's 3 different size filters, so you just put the one that you took off back on, basically. And yeah, that's about it. So the engine oil's been drained. I put the drain plugs back in. Now I'm gonna take this filter off. Obviously, looking at it, you know the oil is gonna come out a little bit that's in there and run down here. So just put your catch basin in the best spot you can and just be ready to clean it up. Obviously, you want protection on your driveway or the ground wherever you're doing it, because you don't want oil to contaminate anything. Filters and stuff that they sell you, you might come home and wonder, mine are gray, how come those aren't? Funny enough, this is from research I did. They paint all this once the filters and everything are on. So like, that's a coat of paint over the drain plugs, the filters, everything. So that's why they're all gray. Yeah, no. Okay, so if you can't get it by hand, you're gonna want an oil wrench. Kind of wrap it around it and try and get it off. Just like that. It's gonna run down. Hopefully I catch it in this. So there, I'll just let kind of drip out there. Wow, there's a lot of turns on this, like a lot of threads. There you go. So I got the old filter. Let's see the size of this one. And it does say filter HST. This one just says oil filter. And when you're putting a new oil filter on, what you want to do is you want to kind of lube up the gasket with some of the old oil. So you just want to take a little bit on your finger. Just make sure it's well lubricated because you don't want to tear it or anything. Some people will say you have to add oil to the filter. You would end up dumping it all out when you do that. You just want to be careful not to cross thread. You're gonna have to push this hose out of the way to get the filter started, which is kind of annoying, but in there, yeah. Just want to make sure that you're not cross-threading it. They say hand tight plus like 3/4 of a turn kind of thing. And then that extra oil that fell out, it's gonna keep dripping, so wipe it off as best you can because you're gonna have to move your drain pan to do the rest of the fluid. Now, the last thing to do, you gotta add oil back to the engine. My dealer gave me this. It's just the service intervals. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, engine oil change, replace the filter, replace your 2 hydraulic filters. And then you're gonna check your start system, grease where you need to. Check the wheel bolt torque. And that's pretty much it for the 50-hour. On the last page, it shows you your fluid capacities. Come over here to your engine oil. 3.1 liters or 3.3 US gallons. That's with the filter. I have 5 liters here, so there's more than enough. So Just fill it to what you think is about 3 liters. Start it up, let it run for a few minutes, or a few seconds, so it fills the filter. And then you can check your dipstick and then add accordingly. You'd rather have to add than have to take some out. You're obviously going to need a funnel to get the oil into your engine. Mine has a filter on it. I mean, they sell all different types. I like this because it has the filter, and it's going to go right in there at the top of your motor. So you can see on the side where your oil is, it's at 5 liters right now. So we need just over 3 liters in there. So if you pour it in until it's at about 2 liters, and then stop, let the engine run, fill the filter, check it, and then just add a little bit if you need to. So I've added approximately 3 liters, maybe a hair more. So I'm going to go ahead, turn the motor over. That way it'll fill the filter, move the oil around, and then we can check our dipstick to see if we need to add a little more. The dipstick's over on this side. You can see there's 2 holes for the dipstick. Mm-hmm. You see them?
I see them.
So you want to be in that range, closer to the top, obviously, but you don't want to be above the top one. You see the oil is literally right there, just below there. So we're in range. It could add a little more. I'll let the oil settle now, and as it heats up, it expands as well, so you don't want to like overfill it. That's how you change the engine oil on your Kubota B2601. We're going to move on to the transmission and hydraulic filters now.
Oh, we're not done?
No, this is the hard part now. So the next step, this is one of the filters. The other filter's on this side. So I've seen a lot of videos where guys will take that filter off and then they'll lose almost all of their hydraulic fluid because it just starts pouring out. There's a few tricks you can do. Some people have pinched off the bleeder valve on the top, like the vent. So I'm going to do that. And there's also a way to do it with a shop vac. You take the fill plug off and you run a shop vac over it to kind of pull the pressure up so not as much oil comes out. So we're going to try that. I'm going to have the new filter ready to go sitting here open so I can pull that off, put the new one on right away. Open this and run the shop vac, and hopefully it's quick. Or I just say forget it and just do it as fast as I can. What do you think?
What is your way to teach the people?
I'm going to try it with the vacuum. You're going to be the one vacuuming. I have my beautiful wife here helping me. So it's going to be kind of hard to film, but that's the filter that we're changing right now. You lose a lot of oil apparently, so there's a few tricks which I mentioned. We're going to try the one with the vacuum and hopefully I don't lose a lot of oil. I have the new filter here unwrapped, ready to go. Hopefully this goes well. You know, yeah, turn it on and we'll start. And just hold it how I had it, right? That was crazy. I hope we got that on film.
What did it do?
It dripped like literally nothing. Yeah, that was amazing. I'm not kidding you. The videos I've seen, people will unscrew that and it just starts pouring out. The filter's not unwrapped yet. They're panicking trying to get it. They literally empty their whole case. Like, it's crazy. I'm glad I watched some videos on this and hopefully this is helpful to someone. I'm probably gonna hardly even have to add any oil. I'm really excited about that. Thank you for helping. Second filter, lubed up. So we're gonna do the exact same process, okay? Exactly how you had it. You didn't suck any oil up, right? So yeah, you did a perfect job then. So I'll just crack this a little bit loose. All right, you're good to vacuum. Good? You're good. I just changed the 2 filters for the hydraulic oil. Almost no oil came out, I think just what was in the filter. So I'm gonna check the dipstick right away to see how much I did lose, if any. I don't think I'm gonna have to add very much at all. So that's back here as well. So you got your fill plug here, your vent, and then this little yellow one. That's how you actually check it. And it's hard to see because it is a clear liquid. Like, see how it, So I don't even really have to add any. I lost almost no oil. That's so funny. Like, I want to laugh because like how well that trick worked is just crazy to me. But what I'm going to do, just to be sure, because obviously the oil now has to fill an empty filter, I'm going to put the seat down, start it up, and I'm just going to kind of cycle the loader up and down, and then same as the 3-point box blade, and so that it fills the filters, and then that might change. So I'm assuming that probably drained a little bit into the filters, so we'll see how much I have to add. So there, well, you see it's like just over halfway now. It's not quite at the full. So that's basically just the oil that was in the filters that came out. I would suggest using a different filter the day of that you're doing it than your engine oil. And again, make sure it's really clean. You just don't want any gook or anything in there, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is what the Kubota dealer gave me as part of the 50-hour service. They gave me 5 liters. I probably only needed 1 liter, but I'm assuming that's because a lot of people lose a lot of oil during the change. But thankfully I didn't, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit here. No. See how it's like clear?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so hard to see on the dipstick. I don't want to overfill it. It's close. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little more and then we're good. So one more other important thing that you should probably check is your front axle oil. It's the yellow dipstick here. You want to make sure that it's full and it looks clean. So yeah, mine's completely full. It's super clear, like it's not dirty or anything. From the factory, you expect everything to be full and done properly, but you never know. I've seen some guys on different forums and videos saying that after about 5 hours of use, they went and checked this and it was really low. Mine isn't, but it might be worth checking. So that's really all there is to it, to the 50-hour service. The engine oil and filter, the 2 other filters for the hydraulic oil that I showed you. The vacuum trick worked really well. It definitely helps to have somebody with you doing it. I don't know if I would have been able to do it like that myself, but yeah, it's definitely worth trying. And if you have your 50-hour service coming up, I'd highly recommend trying to do it yourself, save a few bucks. It's really not that hard. You need minimal tools. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this again, leave a comment and let me know. Thanks.